Welcome back to Cougar Field for Game 2 of today's doubleheader between the Cougars of Concordia University Chicago and the visiting Warriors of Wisconsin Lutheran College. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, back with you for today's second game. Let's talk about that first game a little bit. Cougars took care of business, taking down the Warriors 19-9. An offensive outburst, especially from the top part of the Cougars lineup, all of which had themselves a day. Christian Jacob leading things off, 2 for 4, a pair of RBIs. Tyler Dorsch, 3 for 4, 1 RBI. Gary Maynard, probably star of the game offensively, 4 for 5, 7 RBIs, including 2 home runs, the second of which an inside the park home run. Michael Kasich also went 3 for 4. Caleb Anderson went 3 for 4. Kasich had himself 4 RBIs. Then Brandon Mahler, a grand slam for his only hit of the game. Winning pitcher for the Cougars was Wyatt McLaughlin. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 8 earned runs, 9 total allowed over his start. Meanwhile, losing pitcher for WLC, Andrew Muffler, 3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 7 total runs allowed. And that's how we got to where we are now in today's second game. And it starts off again with the Warriors. A couple lineup shifts, starting with the leadoff man is now Eli Michaelis. If you remember Michaelis back in that first game as he looks at strike one from the Cougars starter. We'll get to him in a minute. In that first game, Michaelis, slammed going backwards into the outfield wall pretty hard. Ended up leaving the game as the second pitch is popped up and goes foul. So Michaelis had to check out of the game and comes back in now. And is leading off for the Warriors. And the 0-2 from the Cougars starter is a ball. Let's talk about that Cougars starter, Chandler Kerr, the senior, making appearance number 7 on the year, a 7.36 ERA, 1-3 record, as this one will be fouled off as well, so that'll stay at 1-2. So Kerr, the senior, takes over the mound. Cougars last game went through McLaughlin, Anthony Polano, and then Dax Meyer in the run rule win. Only took them 7 innings. Another change in the game for the Cougars this time around is Carter Gledhill behind the plate, taking over for Brandon Mahler. Had himself a grand slam in that game one. As this is popped up, coming in, Tyler Dorsch calls off his fellow defenders and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. And that'll retire Michaelis and bring us to Carter Robbie, the right fielder. In that first game, Robbie 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Also scored a run himself. So Robbie back in right field for this game. Now looks at an 0-1 count. Make that 0-2 after the foul. So 0-2 now. Kerr fires. Poked this one to Kasich. It's going to be a race to first, and getting there in time is Kasich. Role reversals. Kasich was the one sliding to beat Robbie, and he does so. Kasich, Robbie, and Kerr were all going to reach first about the same time, so the Cougars' first baseman decided to just take it in himself. Slides to beat out the running Kasich, and that brings us to Ryan Dominique now. 2 outs. Dominique back at short this game as Kerr gives him strike one. In that first game, Dominique went 1 for 4, drew a walk as well. As now this one hits squarely into center field, but getting under it is Eli Hickman, and that'll do it for the first inning. A 1-2-3 top of the first from Chandler Kerr and the Cougars. We're going to head to the bottom of the inning now. Cougars up to bat for the first time in this game, too. We're scoreless here in River Forest. Cougars up to bat here in the bottom of the first. Open up the offensive side of game one. And to start it off, it is number 2, Christian Jacob. Jacob back at second this game, just like game one. But unlike game one, he'll be taking on a new pitcher. As Jacob's first pitch dribbles to the third baseman, he can't glove it, and a lead-off single for Christian Jacob gets the Cougars off right. And the hurler on the mound for WLC, number 34, Storm Porch.
The left fielder, number 23, Tyler Dorsch.
Porch, a freshman righty from Lincoln, Nebraska. His first pitch to Tyler Dorsch is for a strike. Dorsch back in left field for this second game. As for Porch's stat line on the year, 10 innings pitched over 3 appearances, an 8.10 ERA for the tall freshman. He's going up against the Cougars' number 2 hitter in Dorsch. Fires strike 2. Dorsch 3 for 4 last game. Scored 4 runs and also drove in 1. So another successful day at the plate for Tyler Dorsch. A common thing for the sophomores. He hits this one, Dominique. Fires over to second, and they go at first. Dorsch is safe. Dorsch able to beat out the throw to first, so it'll turn into a fielder's choice. Jacob thrown out at second, and that gives way for probably the hottest bat in the Cougars lineup right now, the right fielder, Gary Maynard. 7 RBIs last game, including 2 home runs, the second of which was a Little League home run. That was the play I was mentioning earlier. Michaelis bounced off the wall as he was backing into it, and he was down for quite a while, which allowed Maynard to come all the way across home. He's now looking at a 2-0 count from Porsche. Michael Kasich on deck for the Cougars, as Maynard gets just a piece of that one. Count at 2-1 now. Porch gets set. The pitch. Dorsch started to take off for a second, quickly turns around, especially after new catcher behind the plate, Danny Kane, threatened to throw down. The line to first. Kane, a senior, is now the home plate umpire having a talk with head coach of the Cougars, Colin Connor. I guess home plate umpire not happy with where Caleb Anderson, who's in the hole, was standing. Want to make sure that he's actually within the dugout. Now Coach Connor is going to come out. We listen in, make sure we know what's happening. Now music starts playing. Coach Connor and the home plate ump still having words. Connor will now head his way back to the dugout. Oh, a couple more words here. And now Coach Connor makes his way back to his perch. And play will resume here. 3-1 count on Gary Maynard. A big hack at that one. It'll bring us to a full count here. Dorsch still on second after he hit into a fielder's choice. That cut down Christian Jacob at second. As Porch gets the sign from his catcher, and now this one roped into left center. Michaelis cuts it off before it can hit the wall. Dorsch is going to stop at third, and sliding into second is Gary Maynard. Gary Maynard's hot day at the plate continues. Tyler Dorsch at third, and now with two runners at scoring position. How about another hot-handed hitter for the Cougars in Michael Kasich?
The first baseman, number 10, Michael Kasich.
Kasich had a great game one today, 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, and then over a week ago last Saturday, a career-high 12 RBIs, in a doubleheader sweep over St. Norbert. So Kasich's been swinging the bat better than most over the last couple weeks. And now a 1-1 count, 1 out. The pitch. This one almost hits him. It did hit him, they're going to say. Couldn't tell if he got out of the way of that one. He turned his back to it. Must have just grazed, as now he's shaking off his left arm, which is what's facing the pitcher when he's batting. So it is a hit by pitch. It loads the bags for the designated hitter, Caleb Anderson. 3 for 4 as well last game. As now this one is hit into center field. Tyler Dorsch is going to score comfortably as Michael Kasich stretches to 3. Gary Maynard comes home, and a 2 RBI double for Caleb Anderson. Dorsch scores. Maynard scores.
Batting sixth,
And Kasich makes his way to third.
Tyler Crater.
And now it'll be number 52, Tyler Crater, over at third for this game, just like he was last game as he fouls that one off. Oh, and 1 now on the Cougar third baseman. Last game, Crater 0 for 2. Did score a run, was able to draw 2 walks, so good day getting on base so far for Crater. Just still looking for that first actual hit, as this one misses. 1-1 count now. On deck is Jaime Sandoval. And now this one hits squarely into center field. This one's got a chance. Gone! Tyler Crater, there's the first hit of the day. And the Cougars score 3 more, up 5-0 on the Warriors. Crater drives Kasich, Anderson, and himself over home plate. And now it'll be Jaime Sandoval. Bases cleared, 1 out.
Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 29, Jaime Sandoval.
Cougar shortstop, 1 for 5 last game. An 0-1 count. This one high, make that 1-1. Following Carter Gledhill will be Eli Hickman if we get to him. As Sandoval fouls another one back. 1-2 now. That offering is high. Two and two on the Cougar shortstop. The pitch popped up. Looks like it's going to stay in play as Danny Kane comes out to make the grab. And now to try to keep the inning alive
Catcher, number 27,
is the man behind the plate for this game, Carter Gledhill. The first pitch to Gledhill hits him square in the back. Not the most pleasant way to get on base, but Gledhill will take it. And now it'll be Eli Hickman.
center fielder, number 19, Eli
Second
Hickman.
batter hit by Porch this inning. He also barely scraped Michael Kasich earlier. And now he's going to hit another batter. Eli Hickman will take his place at first. Two straight batters hit by a pitch for CUC.
Second baseman, number 2, Christian Jacob.
And now we'll bring up Christian Jacob. But first we're going to have a quick time here. That's head coach of WLC, Andy Schwal. And we're going to have a pitching change here in the first inning. WLC bringing a new thrower onto the mound. So we're going to take a break here in the Cougar Sports Network as new pitcher gets warmed up. We'll be back in just a minute. Cougars on top, 5-0. So Storm Porch's day is done. He still has 2 runners responsible. Carter Gledhill on second, as well as Eli Hickman on first. So now to try to clean things up is the big lefty, number 55, Hunter Martin. Martin's first challenge is Christian Jacob. Jacob hit an infield single to start off the game, and then was cut down at second on the fielder's choice, hit into by Tyler Dorsch. So see what Martin can do here as Martin throws a strike in there. Martin standing at 6'9", 260. The senior out of Whitewater, Wisconsin, fires one upstairs for a ball. So an intimidating figure on the mound for WLC as he's going to try to work out of these 2 runners on, 2 out situation. The next offering goes outside, 3-1 now on Christian Jacob. So we'll get Storm Porch's final stat line once these runners have been taken care of, as this one's popped up. Getting under it is Robbie makes the grab. That'll do it for the first. But the Cougars, they play 5, highlighted by the Tyler Crater home run. We're going to head to the top of the second now. Cougars on top of WLC 5-0. Top of the second, about to get underway here. WLC back up to bat. And the bat is number 27, the third baseman. Again this game, Foster Englehart. As his first pitch knocked foul. Englehart last game 0 for 1. Drew 3 walks though. As now he'll get his first hit of the day, a little bloop single into right. And WLC gets their leadoff man on. And that'll bring up the number 5 hitter, the catcher for today's second game, Danny Kane. Kane's first appearance at the plate today as he takes strike 1 on the season. Kane, 10 games played, 10 started, 242 batting average. As the 0-1 and there for strike 2 now. Now the 0-2 offering to Kane. This one poked into right field. Maynard's got to go back for it. Makes a jumping grab over his head. Maynard looked like he almost misplayed that one. He came in, stopped, and then started running back. Able to make the play, though.
The designated hitter, number 7,
and that'll bring up the number 6 hitter, the designated hitter, Tyler Danko. Last game, Danko 0 for 4, 1 strikeout. Not the best of days at the plate. Looks to improve it a little here in game 2. As this team needs some help offensively, down 5 runs already here in the second game, and it's just the top of the second. The Cougars' bats have been hot all day long as Gledhill takes ball 3 upstairs. Gledhill behind the plate for this second game, replacing Brendan Mahler. These two have split time a lot this season. Mahler, as Danko takes ball 4, he'll go to first. That'll push Englehart to second. Back to my point, Mahler, 12 games played on the season, 10 starts. Gledhill, 13 games played, 11 starts coming into today. So after today, those stats will be 13 and 11 for Mahler, 14 and 12 for the senior Gledhill. So nice dynamic behind the plate. The senior Gledhill splitting time with the freshman Mahler, kind of hoping Mahler figure out the game, and then when Gledhill graduates after the season, Brendan Mahler will have already had a year of experience under his belt as count now 1-1. That one chopped foul by the batter, Jake Sillen. Sillen came in last game as a defensive adjustment. Did not end up registering a at bat as he was walked in his one plate appearance. Now this game he gets to start out and left. That one upstairs. Count now at 2-2. The 2-2. This one popped foul. It's set to do it again. On deck for the Warriors is the first baseman, Lucas Oswald. And strike 3 called on Sillin. So Sillin represents out number 2, and that'll bring up Oswald.
First baseman, number 25, Lucas Oswald.
WOC first baseman went 1 for 3 in today's first game. Let's see what he can do here against Kerr in game 2 as he takes strike 1. Now this one, dribbler, Crater gloves it, fires across the diamond, and it's over the head of Kasich. It's going to stay in play. So Engelhardt comes in to score. Stopping at second is Oswald. And that'll go down as an error on Tyler Crater. Engelhardt scores. Going to third is Tyler Danko.
Second baseman, number 21, Kason McFadden.
And now it'll be the second baseman to round out the lineup, Kason McFadden, who takes a swing at the first pitch for strike 1. Next offering, this one chopped, glove by running Sandoval. Nice play at first. Sandoval running, grab, and throw. Gets the runner down. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second. Cougars still on top. WOC does get a run back. And it's 5-4 in favor of the Cougars. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network.
Cougars 5, Warriors.
Tyler Dorsch to lead things off here in the second. It's going to be a single up the middle. Bouncing off the glove of McFadden, the second baseman.
Right fielder, number
So a
17,
leadoff
Gary
single for Tyler Dorsch. And that'll lead us to Gary Mader now. He's now looking at an 0-2 count. Still on the mound is Martin. And now Dorsch took off for second, and he's going to be thrown out. So Dorsch caught stealing. That'll bring us to 1 out. And now going down swinging is Maynard for out number 2. And so with 2 outs, nobody on, it is Michael Kasich.
First baseman number 10, Michael Kasich.
That pitch misses for ball 1. So Porch's final stat line we can talk about. That last inning was wrapped up. 2/3 of an innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs allowed, all of which were earned. No walks, no strikes, and 24 total pitches as Kasich fouls this one back. And that leads us to Martin still throwing on the mound and doing a pretty good job of it since he came in. As he looks to go take down the top 3 batters of the Cougars. Dorsch did reach on a single before being caught stealing. All he has to do is take care of business against Kasich as this one's fouled back. Another foul back. Full count on Kasich. And Kasich, he'll reach on a walk. Nice eye there by the sophomore.
Designated hitter number 25, Caleb Anderson.
I'll bring up the DH for the second game. For Concordia, Caleb Anderson working with a man on first. 2 outs. This one outside for ball 1. Now this will be a hit into center field. It gets past the outreach glove of McFadden. Kasich will go to third. And a single for Caleb Anderson. Now runners in the corner for Tyler Crater.
Third baseman number 52, Tyler
Crater, a home run in the first inning. 3-run homer that brought Anderson and Kasich home, so wouldn't mind to see some repeat success there from Crater. It's the first pitch swung on and missed. I think he was swinging for a home run on that one. Just was not able to make contact. Against lefties on the year, Crater batting .286. Which is sizably lower than his .393 average against righties, but .286, still not a bad stat line by any stretch of the imagination. See this one, he fouls back. One and 2 count on Tyler Crater. Crater jacks this one foul as well. Count at 1-2 now. The next pitch upstairs, and they're not even going to try to get Anderson at second. Stolen base, Caleb Anderson. And now runners at second and third for Crater. 2-2, the pitch. Swung on and missed. The ball's dropped. Crater's going to take off for first. The throw down. Not in time. Tyler Crater beats out the drop third strike.
Shortstop number 29, Jaime Sandoval.
And that'll bring up Jaime Sandoval. Bases loaded, still 2 outs. This one gets past Kane. Coming in home as Kasich slides in safely. Kane couldn't get a hand on it. On the runners advance 1. And the Cougars will score.
Caleb, for Crater, did you call that a strikeout with a wild pitch or a pass ball?
So Kasich scores on the passed ball, and all the runners move up 1. Now Sandoval makes contact into right field. Making the grab is Robbie. So that'll do it for the bottom of the second, excuse me. Cougars, they get another run on 6-5 as we head to the top of the third. Cougars on top of the Warriors. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Top of the order for WLC. Quick update. Tyler Crater's reach to first, officially called a drop third strike and passed ball on the catcher. So that's how Crater reached safely, and this one roped up the middle for a hit. Leadoff single in the third by Eli Michaelis.
Right fielder number 10, Carter Robbie.
And I'll bring up Carter Robbie, the right fielder. How about another score update from Wisconsin Lutheran? Softball winning the first game 6-4. Jaden Harris gets the win for the Cougars. Ashley Schroll comes in to make the save. Melissa Tunn given the loss for WLC. And now currently in the bottom of the second in game 2 of that doubleheader. No score yet. Kelly Tierney on the mound for CUC. That'll be strike one. Back here in River Forest on Carter Robbie, a 1-1 count. So Cougars guaranteed at least a split up at WLC on the softball side of things, and then here the baseball team guaranteed a split as well. They look to make it a doubleheader sweep over the Warriors. 2-1 now on Robbie. This pitch swung on and missed. Strike two. As Kerr gets set now. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike three. Kerr takes down Robbie, and that'll bring up Ryan Dominique.
Shortstop number 9, Ryan Dominic.
Dominic lined out to the center fielder, Eli Hickman, his first appearance, as he takes that pitch for a strike. Dominic batting lefty. Kerr is going up 6 hits and 12 at-bats to left-handed hitters this year, as Dominic looks at strike two. Compare that to the 277 average Kerr, a lefty himself, has against righties. Now the 0-2 is away as Gledhill has to pop up for that one. As this one fouled back, 1-2. Now the 1-2, this one drilled into deep right center, and not being able to make a grab is Maynard. Hickman comes over, throws in. There's going to be a play at the plate. The ball in. Carter Gledhill gets the tag! What a play by the Cougars defense. Gledhill's fired up. The Cougars are fired up as they get the runner at home. And now there are 2 outs. So Dominic doubles to center. And then they're cut down Michaelis at home. So it was the relay from Hickman to Jacob to the catcher. So from 8-4 to 2 to get the out at home. Great relay from Christian Jacob at second. So now with 2 outs, it's Foster Engelhart, 1 strike, man on second. The pitch, another deep drive into right center, and coming in to make the grab successfully this time is Gary Maynard. And the Cougars, they're going to leave the top of the third keeping WLC off the board. We're going to head to the bottom of the third. Cougars still up on WLC 6-1. Bottom of the third for the Cougars, and it's Carter Gledhill, the man who finished off a great defensive play to cut down Eli Michaelis, at home last inning. You could see Michaelis out in center, the entire front of his uniform covered in dirt from that slide home. Wasn't enough, though. The relay from Eli Hickman to Christian Jacob to Carter Gledhill was in time. Now Gledhill in the box, 2-0 count. Make that 3-0. Now strike one called on Gledhill. And Gledhill off the glove of the third baseman, Englehart. So Gledhill single. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Eli Hickman. So from the end of that play at the plate to where it started with Hickman, now the batters move, and now Hickman hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Looks at strike one. As the umpire calls timeout. And now Gledhill's going to take off for second. He'll have to go back, though, as here's a foul ball. Now the next pitch, swing and a miss. And that'll send Hickman back to the dugout. Swinging strikeout for Hunter Martin. And now we're to the top of the lineup once again for the Cougars. Christian Jacob, 1 for 2 today, a single to start the game off. And then he flew out to right in the second. And now this one popped up, and it's going to go just foul. Landed in between some WLC fans. Luckily, everyone looks okay. Keep your eyes open in the stands here at the Thunderdome. 0-1 count now on Jacob. They check Gledhill at first. Another Another foul back by Christian Jacob. Count at 0-2. The delivery upstairs, ball one on Jacob. And strike three looking goes Jacob. And so leadoff man Gledhill gets on with the single. 2 straight strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking from Martin. And that'll bring up Tyler Dorsch. 1 for 2 today. Fielder's choice in the first and then a single in the second. As this pitch misses for ball one. Martin's next offering misses again, ball two. About an hour of the way. Hour through here in game two as Dorsch takes strike one. Here in the bottom of the third. And Dorsch, a hit into the left center gap. It's going to go all the way back to the fence. Gledhill, he's booking it, knocks the helmet off, crosses home. RBI double for Tyler Dorsch. Throws a dab out at second base. And the Cougars up 7-1 now. Gary Maynard at the plate now. 1 for 2 today. A single in the first and then a strikeout last inning. Now he's working with a man on second and Tyler Dorsch, who's been there almost all day for Maynard. This top of the Cougars order. Jacob, Dorsch, Maynard, Kasich, and Anderson even. First 5 batters just all having themselves a day as Maynard pops this one up. It might have a chance, and it does. It's gone. Gary Maynard. How about another home run? Number 3 on the day. Started out looking like a high pop fly, but it just kept going and going and going until it was gone. Makes it into one of the trees just outside the fence of Cougar Field. And the Cougars, they'll tack on another 2 runs here. Dorsch and Maynard come home, but now Kasich drives this one into the left corner. He's going to go for second. It's going to be no play as that ball died down before it got off to the cutoff man, Dominic.
Designated hitter number 25, Caleb Anderson.
So a double for Michael Kasich. And that'll bring up Caleb Anderson, 2 for 2 so far today. And so far in this second game, I should clarify. See what he can do here now against Martin as he gets out of that way of that one. Two and one now. 2-1, way outside. 3-1. Still sitting at 2 outs on the inning. Tyler Crater on deck. He's 2 for 2 so far in this second game. 3-1. Strike 2. Gets the zone. Anderson will foul this one back. Count full at 3-2. Anderson, 368 hitter with runners on. He's got Kasich at second. And the pitch. Kasich takes off for third. Ball 4. That'll walk Anderson. Kasich takes third. Now, with men on the corners, it'll be Tyler Crater. That one down low, misses. 1-0 on Crater. Hit a home run in the first inning of this second game. Probably wouldn't mind another one here. This one is a deep drive into left center. It's got a chance. Go off the fence. Almost gone. A couple feet too low. And now Caleb Anderson crosses home. Another 2-run score. 2 ribby double for Tyler Crater. Anderson scores. Kasich scores. And we are now at 11-1 here in River Forest. As Jaime Sandoval takes that first pitch up in the attic for ball 1. The 1-0. Sandoval pops this one up. See if it stays in play. It's not going to. It lands just on the other side of the netting. And stands. Next pitch to Sandoval. Gets past Kane, and Crater's going to scamper to third. Passed ball given out to Kane. Count now 2-1. This one upstairs and away. 3-1 on Sandoval. On deck, the man who started this inning, Carter Gledhill. Led off with the single, so he'd like to get another chance at it. And this one, ball 4, Gledhill will get that next at bat. The Sandoval takes his base. So runners in the corners now for Carter Gledhill. A single and a run already this inning as Coach Michaelis comes out to chat with his pitcher, Hunter Martin. No one's going in the WLC bullpen right now. There does seem to be some movement, some guys loosening up here. Way in the back. But no one really looks like they're close. Still conversation up to the mound. think we are going to get a new pitcher. Yep, Hunter Martin's going to work his way back to the dugout. And no one was throwing on the mounds out on the WLC side. Again, some guys moving around back there, but they're going to take Martin out. A new pitcher on the mound. We'll figure out who that is in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Back here in River Forest, pitching change for WLC. It's now number 33, the freshman, Joshua Tahaney. As his first pitch outside. This is Tahaney's first appearance on the year. We'll see what the freshman can do in his debut as he gets Gledhill to pop up here, and it's going to drop, though. Michaelis couldn't get on it quick enough, and then there's a play at second. Sandoval gets back on the base quickly enough. So Sandoval at second, Gledhill gets to first. And now it'll be Eli Hickman, struck out swinging earlier in this inning. He takes ball one. And now Hickman blasts this one out into left center. And it's going to go over the head of Celine. Sandoval will score. Gledhill, he's going to go home. He'll score. No throw. 2 RBI double, Eli Hickman. Drives Gledhill home. Drives Sandoval home. And now, still 2 outs in the inning. And we'll go back to the top of the lineup with Christian Jacobs. Struck out looking earlier this inning. This one's in the dirt. Bounces into Kane's glove, who drops it. Able to scoop it up before Hickman can go anywhere. One and 0 count on Jacob. Dehaney delivers. Jacob holds off that one. It'll be a strike. Next pitch. Just gets a piece of it for strike 2 as he fouls it back. Holds off that one. It gets past Kane. Hickman will take off for third this time. Wild pitch for Dehaney. Count now evened out at 2-2 on Jacob, and the pitch outside, ball 3. Dorsch on deck, looking to be the 4th batter to bat for a second time this inning. They got to get through Jacob, though, as he fouls off, stays alive a little longer. 3-2 count on the second baseman. As the next pitch, outside, ball 4. Jacob takes his base at first. And that'll bring up Tyler Dorsch.
Left fielder number 23, Tyler Dorsch.
So Dorsch, runners on the corners, 2 outs. Takes ball 1. Dorsch hit a double earlier this inning. That one in the dirt for ball 2. Dorsch 2 for 3 so far this game. A fielder's choice has only flaw so far in the second game. A single in the second, a double in the third as he gets set now. That one's in there for a strike. 2-1 on Dorsch. Next pitch. Swung on. This into deep right center and making a great grab. Carter Robbie went up for it and fell down, keeping a hold of it. And that'll be out number 3. But Cougars, they tag on 8 here in the third We're going to head to the top of the fourth. Cougars up 14-1 on the Warriors.
Number 5 batter leads off
Set
the
to
top
kick
of the
off
fourth
the top
for
of the
the
fourth.
Warriors.
Yep, heard us right. Just the top of the fourth. 14-1 Cougars. As this pitch from Kurt misses for ball one to Danny Kane, the catcher. 0 for 1 today. Flying out to right in the second as he looks at strike one. Now he steps back to wipe something out of his eyes, it looks like. Gets back in the box. 1-1 count on the WLC catcher. Next pitch. Outside. 2-1 count now. Three and one. And now the next offering swung on and fouled to the WLC dugout. So full count on Kane. Danny Danko and Jake Sillen on deck and in the hole, both guaranteed to hit. So it looks like there is. This one is drilled into deep left center off the wall. Hickman throws it to second. The tag by Kasich is out. Hickman threw it almost perfectly in place for Kasich to make the tag. And the Cougars get the out at second after Kane tried to stretch his single into a double.
Hitter number 7, Tyler Danko.
So a pinch hitter now for WLC trying to get something started offensively. It's Connor Donahue, the junior out of Missoula, Montana. Count now 2-0 on the pinch hitter. Donahue listed as a catcher infielder, hitting for Danko the DH as he looks at strike one. The 2-1 swung on and missed. Next offering. Strike 3 called. Donahue goes down looking. And now that'll bring up the left fielder, Jake Silling.
Left fielder number 15, Jake Sillen.
Silling struck out looking his first appearance in the second. He hopes for a little better luck this time around against Kerr. Gets a piece of that one, fouls it off, 1-1. Next pitch misses, 2-1. Swing and a miss there. Count 2-2 now. Kerr for the strikeout. It's upstairs. Full count now. And the pitch. Getting a piece of it, so Sillen will stay alive. One back hits the netting. Now this one, well hit into left field. Dorsch going back makes the grab. No problem for Tyler Dorsch and the Cougars. Go one, take down the Warriors 1, 2, 3. And we're going to head to the bottom of the fourth. Cougars still up by 13, 14-1 here in River Forest. Gary Maynard to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning for CUC. Maynard, a single and a home run so far in this game. He takes strike one. Here in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth, excuse me. That's a ball. Tahaney still on the mound. Let me look at Martin's final stat line now that the innings wrapped up. 2 innings pitched for Hunter Martin, 7 hits, 8 runs, all of which were earned. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts over 62 total pitches. So 3-1 count now on Maynard. Maynard will pop this one up. If it stays in play, Oswald's got to play on it. It won't. Looks like it might have gone into the Cougars dugout. So it's a full count now on the Cougars senior. Maynard set. That one almost hits him. And either way, he'll take his base at first after the walk. And now it'll bring up Michael Kasich. Kasich hit by a pitch, walked, and a double so far in this game. He goes up against Tahaney now. Anderson on deck. Tyler Crater in the hole. Here's the 1-0. Make that a 2-0 now. On Kasich. Ball got passed to Haney on the throw from the catcher. No problems because of it. Now the 3-0. Finds its place for a strike. Mishap at first. Goes nowhere as Maynard gets back to the plate. Next pitch, Kasich. This one popped up. And falling in between the left and center fielder. And now Maynard's going to stop at third. So a double for Michael Kasich. Sillin and Michaelis coming in, and neither able to make a play on it. There's a strike to Anderson. Swing and a miss there from Anderson. Oh, 2 count now on the DH, and he pulls this one foul. Oh, and 2 on Anderson. Tahaney delivers. This one bounced and out of the glove of McFadden. Maynard will score. Kasich comes around 2.
Hit. Okay.
It'll be a single for Anderson. Drives in
Third
2.
baseman, number 52, Tyler Crater.
Kasich scores. Maynard scores. The Cougs up 16-1 now. It's Tyler Crater at the plate. 0-1 count. This one bounces around Kane. Anderson ties himself up. Safely makes his way back to first. 1-1 count. Pickoff attempt by Dehaney goes nowhere. Fouled off there by Crater. 1-2. Now hangs this one out. Center fielder coming in. Makes the sliding grab. Nice play there. And now with
Shortstop, number 29,
one out,
Sandoval.
it'll be Jaime Sandoval. And Sandoval over a falling McFadden into right center. Center fielder bobbles it. Anderson's going to hold at third. And so it'll be at least a hit for Sandoval. A single for Sandoval. He then advances the second on the air by the center fielder. Meanwhile, that's Anderson who makes his way
Catcher number 27, Carter Gledhill.
over to third. Gledhill 0-2 count now. This one gets away from Kane. Anderson's just going to hold at third. It'll just be ball 1. And a swing and a miss. Gledhill will go down. And now with 2 outs, it'll be Eli Hickman.
Center fielder, number 19, Eli Hickman.
Hickman hit by pitch, strikeout, and a double so far this game. A 2 RBI double. And now this one gets past McFadden. It's going to go all the way into right center. Anderson scores. Sandoval scores. A double for Eli Hickman. Drives in another 2 runs. Cougars up 18-1 here in the bottom of the 4th.
What would you call that one? Second baseman, number 2, Christian Jacob.
Now back to the top of the lineup as Jacob pops up on the first pitch. And Oswald makes the catch in foul territory. But the Cougars add another 4 runs on here in the 4th. We're going to head to the 5th inning. Cougars up big on WLC 18-1. WLC back in the batter's box.
First baseman number 25, Lucas Oswald.
Couple defensive changes for the Cougars, however, as the first pitch will be at least a single. Oswald's going to hold it to a single. Thought about second. Stays at first. Leadoff single for Lucas Oswald on the first pitch. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, Richie Sperando enters the game at short, replaces Sandoval, and then out and right is Julio Cajigas instead of Gary Maynard. Now this one, it's going to go off the wall. Hickman gloves it, throws it in. It gets past the first cutoff man in Jacob, but Sperando, the new shortstop's right there. So
Previous batter was number 21, Kason McFadden. Now 30.
30. Number 30 up to bat for the first time today. It's the new center fielder, Tim Fairking. Fairking on the season, a .091 batting average in 10 games played. As this one gets past Gledhill, it bounces off the brick backstop back to Kerr. So no harm other than ball 2 on Fairking. And that'll lead to Carter Robbie. The pitch called for strike. Fairking still in the box, excuse me. The 2-1. One line to Cajigas, makes the grab in right, and that's going to just hold the batters. So line out from Fairking now leads to Carter Robbie.
Right fielder.
Carter Robbie.
Carter Robbie.
Looks at that first pitch for a strike.
So we got Sperando at short, Rensberger first, and Cahigason right.
So I believe I forgot to mention Nick Rensberger at first, another defensive replacement as Robbie swings at that one for strike 2. So Sperano short, Rensberger first, Cahigas and right are the defensive replacements this inning for the Cougars. Now the 0-2 is fouled back. Next pitch, this one drilled foul. Oh and 2, still the count. As here's a deep drive into right, and it's going to go over the wall. Home run, Carter Robbie. 3-run homer. So Robbie gets his team 3 runs back, makes it 18-4. Now visit at the mound. Coach Connor comes out. And they're going to keep Kurt in there, looks like. He is. Kurt just needs 2 more outs to be able to qualify for the win. So now it'll be the shortstop, Ryan Dominic. Dominic, this one hit to Jacob. Throws it to Rensberger for the second out. And now it'll be Foster Engelhardt to try and keep the inning alive for WLC. It's number 4. Excuse me, a new batter. Oliver Lopez-Tello. Lopez-Tello. 5 at-bats this year, no hits. As he swings and drives this one into left, it will be his first hit of the year as he's going to make his way to second safely. Lopez-Tello. Pinch hitting for Engelhardt.
The catcher, number 11.
We'll have to see where he goes into this game after this half inning. Lopez-Tello, a freshman as well. I mean, that was his first career hit at the collegiate level. And now Danny Kane takes strike 1. Danny Kane. That one in the dirt, 1-1. Now here's a deep drive into left field. It could be trouble. It is home run. Danny Kane, a 2-run homer. Lopez Tello comes home. And now it's 18-6 in favor of the Cougars still. And now it looks like it could be it for Chandler Kerr. It is. New pitcher coming in for the Cougars. So Kerr exits. We're going to take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network and be back in just a minute with a new Cougars pitcher here in River Forest. New Cougars pitcher, it's the freshman number 7, David Dimley, 7.94 ERA and 4 appearances, 5 2/3 an inning pitched. And now he'll go up against the designated hitter, Connor Donahue, who takes ball 1. Donahue came in for the last at-bat where he struck out looking. Now he faces 2-0 on Dimling. So Chandler Kerr leaves 4 2/3 an inning pitched, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of which were earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts as Donahue went on that one. 2-1 now. Swing and a miss there. Two and two. Next pitch. Strike 3 called. David Dimling comes in. Gets the strikeout, gets out of the inning. And the Cougars going to come up to bat at the bottom of the 5th. They're up on WLC 18-6. New batter up for the Cougars, and quite a couple of defensive changes for the WLC Warriors. At third now is number 24, Joseph Cook. And then McFadden slides over from second to short to make way for Lopez Tello. Meanwhile, on the mound, it is now number 23, Glavin Mathis. Mathis gets set now. The pitch to Dorsch popped up. And Dorsch looks at a ball there. 1-2 on Dorsch. So the new pitcher, Glavin Mathis. Dorsch smacks that one foul. On the season, Mathis, 13.5 ERA over 6 appearances, 8 innings pitched. As we got a new catcher too. It's Nick Freihofer. As that one is downstairs for ball 4. Dorsch draws a leadoff walk. And now it's the new Cougars right fielder, Cajigas, up to bat.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Julio Cajigas.
Julio Cajigas pops that one foul. On the year, Cajigas, 277 hitter and 65 at-bats. Mathis' next pitch fouled off again. They're going to be able to make a play on it is the left fielder. And the 0-2, outside and up for ball 1. And that one nicked Cajigas, so he's going to take his base. Pushes Dorsch to second, and now for the Cougars, it's Rensberger. Came in to replace Michael Kasich at first last inning. Rensberger first pitch. They're going to get the out at second. McFadden scooped it up and just handed it off to Lopez Tello. So it'll be a fielder's choice. Dorsch advances to third. Cajigas was the one cut down at second. And now
28, Tyler
batting
Sherman.
for Caleb Anderson in the DH spot, it's Tyler Sherman. Sherman on the year, 2 at-bats, no hits yet. See if he can get his first one of the year here with runners on the corners. How's that back? One and one count now. Make that 2-1 count on the graduate student out of St. Louis, Missouri. Sherman pops that one. It's going to go foul. Even count now. 2-2 on Sherman. Pitch. Good eye there from Sherman as he takes ball 3. Next pitch. That'll draw a walk for Tyler Sherman. Gets on base. Now up to face mat. This is Tyler Crater.
Third baseman number 52, Tyler Crater.
Crater. 3 for 4 in this game. A home run, single, double, and then a flyout. Triple away from the cycle as he pops this one up. Major league pop fly. And coming over to make the grab is Fairkeen. Tagging up and scoring is Tyler Dorsch. So it'll be a sac fly for Tyler Crater. Drives in a run. Tyler Dorsch tags up and scores. He is run number 19 on the day for the Cougars. And now batting for the Cougars is their new shortstop, number 28, Richie Sperando. Came in the last half inning to replace Jaime Sandoval defensively as he knocks this one foul. Sperando on the season. 1 at bat. That's it. No hits. 4 games played for the freshman. And he'll knock this one into left field and a diving grab. Jake Sillen. And that will end the inning. Selling out to make the grab is Sillen. And now we are going to go to the top of the 6th. Cougars extend their lead a little bit, up 19-6 over the Warriors of WOC here in River Forest. So up to bat now, it is number 15, Jake Sillen, here in the top of the sixth. Assuming the run rule is put into play by the coaches and everyone, could be looking at the getting closer to the end of the game here. Diamond's still on the mound. 2 straight strikes now. Score update from up in WLC. Warriors come back to take game 2 against the Cougars 11-1. As this one's popped up, it's going to stay in play. Rensberger can't make the grab. That one floating around up there. The sun also becoming a factor. So it'll be a single for Sillen.
First baseman, number 25, Lucas Oswald.
Callie Terrell gets the win for WLC in that softball game, while Emma Borelli the loss for the Cougars. Meanwhile, back here in River Forest, Cougars possibly just a few innings away from sweeping WLC. It's a big swing and miss there from Oswald. 0-2 count now. Diamond's going to throw to first for the pickoff attempt. And getting back in safely is Sillen. Ended the last half inning with that fantastic diving grab on Sperando. This one misses for ball 1. 1-2 now on Oswald. Kason McFadden on deck. Actually, it looks like it could be a pinch hitter. We'll get a confirmation on that. In just a second. Diamond's next offering is upstairs, 2-2. No, that is McFadden on deck. No pinch hitter. And that one misses. 3-2 now on Oswald. The offering upstairs. Oswald will take his place at first. And so with runners at first and second, here's McFadden.
Shortstop number 21, Kason McFadden.
McFadden fouls back the very first pitch for a strike. Oh, and 1 on the WOC shortstop now. Started this game and played all of last game at second and was slid over to the other side of the bag. And that one hits off Diamond's foot. It goes into right field. Coming home, the score is Sillen. And Oswald will go all the way over to third. So it'll be a RBI single for McFadden. Oswald gets to third, and then coming home to score is Sillen. McFadden hit that one, and then Dimely, who was following through on his pitching motion, kicked his leg up. It hit off his left foot, and then dribbled into right field. Now Dimely back on the mound looks okay, and that'll lead us to Tim Fairking, who in his first at-bat last inning, lined out to the right fielder. He'll take strike one. Now Fairking popped up to left field. Dorsch gets under it. Throw to Crater, throw it home. Gledhill, no play there. Safe is Oswald, and WLC gets another run back. A sac fly for Fairking.
Right fielder number 10, Carter Robbie.
And now it'll be Carter Robbie. 1 out. Gets just a tip of that one. Still strike one either way. Robbie had a 2-run homer. Excuse me, a 3-run homer it was last inning. He's now looking at an 0-2 count. Now the 0-2 in the dirt. Gledhill gets in front of it, checks the runner. As that is McFadden not going anywhere. And here's a drive into right. Callegos gets under it for the grab. Out number 2. Now we have, for his first appearance of the day, number 24, which is Joseph Cook. Came in last half inning to play third. He takes a swing at that one for strike one. Cook, another foul ball. 0-1. It's into an 0-2. Now here's a pop fly. Hickman right under it. Has to move a little bit, but still makes the grab. So the Warriors get 2 runs back, excuse me. Make it 19-8. We're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network here in River Forest. new pitcher on the mound for the Warriors, and he's been in the game all day today, both games. It's Oswald who's been playing first all day as Gledhill takes a swing. And it goes foul. So Mathis leaves the game. 1 inning pitched, 0 hits allowed, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 0 strikes, and a total of 23 pitches. So Oswald on the mound now for Carter Gledhill, who now looks at 1-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. This one outside, 2-1. And now Gledhill is going to take his base after the ball 4. Now it'll be Eli Hickman to bat. Hickman 2 for 3 so far this game. Two RBI doubles, a strikeout, and then he was a hit by pitch to start game 2. As he goes swinging first pitch and fouls it off. One and one now on Hickman. Lucas Oswald is listed as a right-handed pitcher on the roster, so does have some pitching pedigree to his name. He's pitched in a third of an innings this year, where he allowed 1 earned run, so he's sitting at a 27 ERA, but extremely small sample size. That one goes upstairs. He's now 3-1. And now the 3-1 from Oswald. And this one knocked into right. It'll be a base hit for Hickman. Gledhill puts on the brakes, stops at second. That'll bring up Christian Jacob now, a second baseman. Jacob a single, flyout, strikeout, walk, and another flyout so far in this game too. As he knocks this one fair, it's going to go all the way into the left center corner. Gledhill, he'll score. And Eli Hickman will stop at third, so an RBI double for Christian Jacob.
Left fielder number 23, Tyler Dorsch.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Tyler Dorsch. Dorsch on the game, 2 for 4, an RBI, 3 runs scored. This one is up and in for ball 1. Strike 1 thrown to Dorsch. Two and one now on the sophomore left fielder. One run driven in this game, drove in 1 last game for 2 on the doubleheader. Has a chance to add One or two more here with two runners in scoring position. Dorsch now 3-0 count. Pops it up. That's going to go foul. Heads up in the stands. That lands behind the bleachers. It's 3-2. And here's a drive into deep center, going back for it and not being able to make the grab is Fairking. It bounces off the top of his glove. Hickman scores, and Christian Jacob runs home as well. It will be an error on Fairking.
Right fielder number 21.
And now it'll
Julio
bring up the
Cajigas.
right fielder, Julio Cajigas. Cajigas was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Now he pops this one up. One and one on Cajigas. He swings and misses on that one. Strike two. The 1-2 swung on, fouled in front of the WLC dugout. One, two again. Inside, 2-2. And that just to the left of the third base for foul ball. The count will stay even at 2-2. Next pitch from Oswald, fouled off again. Cougars making Oswald work in his pitching debut on the day. How about another foul ball from Cajigas? Cajigas hangs this one foul. Putting on a battle here until he gets that pitch he wants. Looking ahead a little bit. Cougars back in action tomorrow right here at River Forest as they welcome North Park University for a 3 p.m. single game matchup. Another foul ball. And then conference play resumes this upcoming Saturday, April 15th. Edgewood College comes to River Forest for a doubleheader, 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. start times on those 2 games. And then Sunday, the team takes a trip to Illinois Institute of Technology for a 12 and 3 doubleheader. Coverage for all of these matches can be found, as always, on our website, CUCougars.com. You can also find out all kinds of information about every single sports team at CUC, like the baseball team, as Cougars finally puts this one in fair territory, and not being able to make the play on it is Lopez-Tello. It'll be an error on the freshman. And that moves Dorsch over the third. Runners on the corners now with no outs. And it's Nick Rensberger in the batter's box. See, looks at strike 1. Strike 2 on Rensberger now. Tyler Sherman on deck. Tyler Crater in the hole. Rensberger, major pop-up here. And not making the grab is Fairking. So Dorsch will score. It'll be a single for Rensberger. RBI single at that.
Designated hitter number 28, Tyler Sherman.
Sherman swings at one way upstairs. Strike 1. Strike 2. Sherman did not go on that one. So count now at 1 and 2. Leans back to avoid that one. We're evened up at 2 apiece now. Now the 2-2 from Oswald in the dirt for ball 3. Coming into today, Sherman 0 for 1 when runners were in scoring position. And there's a swinging strikeout. That'll be the first out of the inning for Oswald. And will bring to the plate Tyler Crater. Crater takes strike 1. As now the catcher Freihofer comes out to Oswald. Have a discussion. Oswald gives the nod to his catcher, and that one is a line drive to Cook at third base. And now it'll be Richie Sperano to try to extend the inning.
Shortstop number 8, Richie Sperando.
Sperano coming in to replace Sandoval a few innings ago. And now Sperando hit into left field, and Cahigos rounded third, thought about it, and said he'll pull back. So a single for Sperando loads the bases.
Wait a minute, new batter here.
Now new batter for the Cougars. It's number 14. Dom Owens, as we're going to have a discussion at the mound. It will be a new pitcher, too. We'll have more information on him coming up. After this break, you're watching the Cougar Sports Network, CUC, up on WOC 3 to 8. New pitcher on the mound for WLC is number 49, Will Tucholsky, ERA leader for the Warriors, a 2.53 mark coming into this appearance. He's had 7 appearances on the year, as going first pitch swinging is the pinch hitter Dom Owens, and he'll drive in a run with that single. They have a chance to mention Dom Owens pinch hitting for Carter Gledhill. He drives in a run with that single. And now it'll be Eli Hickman. 24-8 Cougars here in the bottom of the 6th. So bounces away from Fryhover. Cougars just going to hold. This is going to hit Hickman, so he'll take his base. And Coming in is Rensberger. Over to third is Sperando. And at second is now Owens. And another pinch hitter here for the Cougars, number 4, Sergio Vasquez Jr.
Batting for the second baseman, Jacob. Number 4, Sergio Vasquez.
As Vasquez Jr. holds off that first pitch for a ball. Vasquez Jr. on the season, 2 for 5 in his 7 games played. Two and 0 on Vasquez Jr. Swings at that one for strike 1. Swings at that one for strike 2.
Pinch hitter on deck.
Now the 2-2. Fouled straight back. Vasquez Jr. will stay alive a little longer. And this one, foul out of play. Two and 2 count on CUC pinch hitter. This goes outside, make it 3 and 2 now. And Vasquez will foul that one off as Hickman started to take off for second. All the Cougars runners starting to advance at 3-2, 2 outs. Full count the pitch. And the dirt, ball 4. And that'll walk another run in. That'll bring up the pitch hitter, number 30, Aiden Tehan.
Batting for the left fielder, Dorsch. Number 30, Aiden Tehan. Be interesting to see if he goes in to play left field.
First pitch, up and away for ball 1. Tehan on the season. Appeared in 7 games, 1 at bat. Did not record a hit in it. Has scored a run, however, as he looks at that one for strike 1. And started to go, able to pull back though. 3 and 2 and 1. I'll make it 2 and 2 on Tehan. The pitch. Ball 3, excuse me. Say 3 there. It is a full count now. Tehan gets set. The 3-2. Swung on and fouled. Full count still on Tehan. Here comes the pitch. Ball 4. Tehan is walked. And now it'll bring up Julio Cajigas.
Right fielder number 21, Julio Cajigas.
Cajigas takes that for ball 1. And fouled back. This one in the dirt, 2-1. Cajigas puts this one in play. And it gets away from the second baseman. An error on Lopez Tello. That's how Cajigas reached safely in his last at bat this inning. And now it'll bring up the first baseman, Nick Rensberger. 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. I'd like to add another one here. He's got the bases loaded to do so. With 2 outs coming in today, Rensberger 1 for 2 this season. Small sample sizes. (2-0). Rensberger takes that for 3-0. Takes it for strike 1. And there's ball 4. So the walk parade continues. And now Tyler Sherman back up at the plate. And we're going to have a new pitcher come in. So leaving the game is Tucholsky, and now entering right field is number 14, Braylon Robertson. And while the new pitcher will be Robbie coming in from right field. On the season, Robbie has not made a pitching appearance, so we'll see what the right fielder can do when we come back from this break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Carter Robbie on the mound now. Braylon Robertson out and right. First pitch to Sherman outside for a ball.
Hitter number 28, Tyler Sherman.
Swing and a miss there from Sherman. Sherman so far in this game 0 for 1. Has drawn a walk though, and he'll take a swipe at that one for strike 2. On that one called for a ball. Robbie thought he got strike 3 there. Nice pitch too from the position player. Now we'll have to do it again. The 2-2s. This one hit up the middle. It's going to be a close, and not grabbing the ball is McFadden. So an error on the short. Keeps the inning alive. Keep her going. And now it'll bring up number 5, a pinch hitter, Jake Mahler.
Bay for the third baseman, Crater. Number 5, Jake Mahler.
Jake Mahler. 12 at-bats this season, 1 hit. Played in 4 games, 3 starts. As he swings at that first pitch and fouls it back. And this one takes a ride into deep left field off the fence. This is going to score a couple. How about a 2 RBI single for the pinch hitter Mahler? So a 2 RBI double for Mahler.
Shortstop number 8, Richie Sperando.
It is 32-8. Oh, and 2 count now on Sperando. Now a strikeout here, and the inning that never ends finally comes up to an end. Cougars plate 13 here in the 6th inning. They're going to take a 32-8 lead into the top of the 7th. We have a lot to figure out positioning-wise as well. We'll have all that for you and more coming up. The top of the 7th on the way. 32-8 here in the Thunderdome. That is right, 32-8 in favor of the Cougars.
Speeding up for the Warriors. Number 4, Oliver.
In terms of defensive maneuvers for the Cougars, Nick Rensberger goes out to left field. Aiden Tian at first. Sergio Vasquez Jr. at second. Jake Mahler at third. Dom Owens behind the plate. And that brings us to the pitcher as Jake Mahler makes the grab, throws the first for the out. Lopez Tolo grounds out. As for the new Cougar on the mound, it's number 11, Jake Garvey.
Who's the batter?
Garvey making his first appearance of the year.
The catcher, number 6, Nick Fryover.
As now that brings us to the catcher, Nick Fryover. One and one. Pitch just outside. Two and one on Fryhover. This one, it makes its way inside the strike zone. 2-2. And a strikeout there for Jake Garvey. And down to their final out are the Warriors with Connor Donahue.
Number 51, Connor Donahue.
Donahue swinging a miss on that one. 0-1 now. And now this one's going to bean Donahue. So he'll take his base. And with 2 outs, a runner on first, it's Jake Celine.
Left fielder, number 15, Jake
Sillin. 1-3 on the day. Swings at that one for strike one. Swings at that one, strike two. And now WLC out to their final strike of the game with the run rule in place. Assuming the coaches agreed on it and all that's been done. The pitch in the dirt. Owens keeps it in front of him. One and two now on Sillin. Garvey set. The 1-2. This one hit fair. Vasquez Jr. charges it, gloves it, throws it to first. In time. Cougars win. Cougars take game 2, 32-8. And complete the doubleheader sweep of Wisconsin Lutheran College. What a day for the Cougars offense. As between the two games, after some quick mental math here, outscore WLC 51 to 17, if my math is correct, in 2 games. Cougars looked like they were swinging at beach balls out there and leave today with an even conference record of 3-4. They're 500 overall on the year as well at 11-11. Meanwhile, WLC, they fall to 2-17 overall, and in conference play, they're currently sitting at 1-7. Some of the leaders from today's second game. Let's start with the Cougars. Offensively, RBIs aplenty. Leading the pack was Tyler Crater, though, with 6, as he had a home run. Eli Hickman had himself 5. Caleb Anderson with 4. Taylor Dorsch with 3. Gary Maynard had a pair. Nick Rensberger had a pair. Jake Mahler had a pair. And then in terms of players who had just 1, Christian Jacobs, Sergio Vasquez Jr., Aiden Tian, Jose Gallegos, Tyler Sherman, Carter Gledhill, and Dom Owens all had an RBI apiece. Meanwhile, winning pitcher for the Cougars will be Dave Dimeling. Chandler Curd falling 1 out short of the 5-inning minimum. So Dimeling picks up win number 1 in his career. He improves to 1-1 on the year. Meanwhile, picking up the loss for WLC is Storm Porch. He falls to 0-4 after 2 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 5 runs allowed total. Some of the offensive leaders for Wisconsin Lutheran: Carter Robbie, 3 RBIs. He had a home run in this game. Danny Kane had a pair of RBIs, and then McFadden as well as Fairking both had 1 RBI as well. But that'll do it here from River Forest. A successful day of baseball for the Concordia University Chicago baseball team. Beat WLC in both games of the doubleheader of Game 1 at 19-9 and Game 2 32-8. They improved to 500 in the conference standings. They'll have a non-conference contest tomorrow, a single game against North Park University right here at the Thunderdome. That is a 3 p.m. start time. And then they'll welcome Edgewood College to resume NAC play this weekend on Saturday. Those games will start at 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Coverage for everything related to CUC men's baseball, CUC baseball, can be found at our website, cucougars.com. And meanwhile, the live streams can always be found on our YouTube page, CUC Sports. Want to say thanks to everyone making today's production possible. Saba Miller working the camera in Game 1, and then moving over to production here in Game 2. Our producer for Game 1 was Ryan McGee. Maya Martin working the camera down at field level for both games. And then we are under the direction of Sydney Plastic-Slaughter and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. This is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network. One more time, Cougars take down WLC in today's doubleheader. They'll be back at it tomorrow at 3 p.m. as they welcome North Park University to River Forest. But until then, that'll do it for this presentation of the Cougar Sports Network. This is Peter Borkowski wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.